When the Joker sits across from Batman in an interrogation room, he doesn't threaten him with a bomb or a gun. He forces Batman to choose between the woman he loves and his closest political ally. The ultimate psychological weapon isn't physical violence, it's the weaponization of a person's trusted relationships. Your mind operates like a biological operating system. It's a complex piece of software that requires external inputs from other humans, their words, their actions, and their presence, just to function and survive. We can see this structure at the microscopic level. These branch-like dendrites are the system's receivers, picking up signals and passing them as an electrical charge down to the synaptic terminals. These terminals then transmit that information as code to neighboring neurons. To form social bonds, our brains produce chemical messengers. The pituitary gland secretes oxytocin, forcing trust toward friends. This trust acts as administrative credentials. Recognizing a friend as safe bypasses emotional firewalls, granting admin access to your system. A true manipulator doesn't need to hold you hostage. They just need your trust to install their own malicious code into your neurochemistry. One of the most effective exploits is strategic withdrawal. This is the calculated use of silence by a trusted friend who suddenly removes their input from your system. This is devastating because the human brain is biologically desperate for closure. We are wired to seek cause and effect reasoning to make sense of our environment. When a response is withheld, it triggers a biological crisis. The sudden absence of expected data tricks the endocrine system into a fight-or-flight panic, treating the silence as an immediate threat. This chart shows the resulting chemical flood. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline spike in response to a purely psychological threat, setting off an internal biological alarm despite the lack of a physical enemy. This tactic turns your own mind into a weapon. You are left to obsessively exhaust your own energy trying to solve a puzzle with no solution, while the manipulator remains completely passive. The second exploit is attention scarcity. Here, the manipulator becomes unpredictable, creating an artificial deficit of validation, so you never know when the reward of their attention will arrive. This unpredictability hijacks your dopamine receptors. It forces you into a loop of chasing the manipulator, seeking the chemical relief that only their validation can provide. Then there is the energy parasite. This is the friend who constantly injects crises, drama, and negativity into your system, demanding your immediate focus. These constant negative inputs act like a single, dense drop of black ink in a glass of water. They bloom and spread, overriding your mental bandwidths and clouding your view of reality. By hoarding validation and injecting chaos, the manipulator drains your cognitive resources and assumes psychological dominance over your daily life. In the aftermath of these exploits, you might find yourself trapped in an exhausted default pattern, reacting automatically to every whim and crisis the manipulator presents. The solution to this vulnerability is building the armor of indifference to regain control over your own neurochemistry. This is achieved through calculated inaction. By simply refusing to react to the manipulator's baits, you sever the control loop. You stop providing the feedback they need to maintain dominance. You have to reframe your attention as the most valuable currency your brain possesses. It is a finite resource that must be guarded like gold. The final defensive step is to actively erase toxic inputs and unworthy actors. By removing these parasites, you reclaim your mental bandwidth and allow your system to heal. Guarding your attention allows you to stop playing a rigged game. It empowers you to stop reacting to external code and start moving through the world on your